Good morning, friends. This is Michael Green with Inspector USA, your neighborhood home inspector. Today I'm starting a series of videos I'm calling Home Inspection 101. I've been in this business for more than 30 years, and it's amazing to me that there are a lot of people that still don't understand what I do. So I figured we'd do some videos and try to explain it. To start off with today, we're going to do what is a home inspection. Now, a lot of people think they know what a home inspection is. They understand it, but do you really? A home inspection is a visual assessment of a property to determine its condition and operational status of the components. Basically, it's a walkthrough, operating the systems and noting any visible issues that are apparent at the time of the inspection. Now, the key there is the time of the inspection. No inspector can tell you things are going to happen after they leave. And let me tell you something, it happens all the time. Where we do an inspection, we test the dishwasher, run it through the cycle, it's working fine. Then our clients move in a couple of months later, after the closing. They go to turn that dishwasher on, it's not working. Things do break down with little or no notice. Especially the older they get, the bigger chance you have for that to occur. So a home inspection is not a warranty in itself. It's not a guarantee that you won't have problems. In fact, I tell most of my clients, you need to expect problems. Now, we, in order to help our clients weather these problems as they come up, provide several warranties that we purchase through national warranty companies to help reimburse them should issues come up after the fact, or within the first 90 days. That's because, again, we've seen through history that it happens, especially if somebody's living in the house, the seller's living in the house, they're using these systems, they fail, the seller is on his way out the door. He may not necessarily say, hey, I'm going to fix this. He's going to say, hey, that's the buyer's problem. Now I'm out of here. So, a home inspection, again, is a visual assessment. It's not a technically exhaustive inspection. In other words, I'm not coming in and changing and disassembling the systems and checking technically every component. I'm not allowed to do that in many occasions, many cases. For example, your furnace. I'm limited by state law what I can do. I can't disassemble that thing and look at the heat exchanger. Only a licensed HVAC technician can do that. I can't check Freon levels in your air conditioner. Only a licensed HVAC technician can do those things. My job when I look at that system is to turn it on, operate that system. Does it sound okay? Is it providing the warm or cold air that it's supposed to? We take temperature differentials between the supply and the return to determine, is it within normal standards as far as its operation as of that day. So, a couple of things that people oftentimes confuse what is included in a home inspection. Now, a home inspection in Kentucky, we're regulated by the Kentucky Board of Home Inspectors. They have mandated that we follow a certain set of standards of practice, and the law requires that we do that, or we can be disciplined by the board. Things that though the law excludes from a home inspection that are not included, and in many cases are illegal for me to even venture into, such as code compliance. I'm not there to determine whether something is or is not up to code. In fact, the state law specifically prohibits me from doing so as a licensed home inspector. law says that I am prohibited from making code compliance statements either verbally or in writing. Now, why is that? Well, for one, codes only apply to new construction as far as the house in general. Within 12 months after its construction, it's grandfathered in the way it is. It's assumed that it met code because a occupancy permit was issued when it was built. That means a building inspector went in there and looked at it, and he approved it. He said it was up to code. I don't have the authority to second guess that inspector. So I can't go in and look at a component and say, well, this isn't up to code. Well, it might not be up to today's code. Codes change every other year. They're constantly changing. And it could be create a huge mess, and it was creating a huge mess in the home buying transaction for home inspectors to go in there and say, well, this isn't up to code, and that's not up to code. The standards of practice clearly say that this is not a code inspection. You know, this is a test, a test of the condition and operation of the systems. It's not a code inspection. So please understand, I'm not going to tell you something is or is not up to code. It may or may not be. But in a house that's a pre-existing house, the way it is the way it is. It's accepted the way it is. Now, the exception to that is safety. Now, if I see something that I believe is unsafe, that very well might also be a violation of code in some way. But I'm more concerned about, okay, this is a safety issue. For example, a gas water heater that's located in a garage where the burner is within 18 inches of the floor creates a very large safety hazard because gasoline fumes stay within 18 inches of that floor. And so you've got an open flame with the possibility of gasoline fumes. If you've got a small leak in your car where the fumes get to the flame, you can have an explosive situation. So that's a safety issue that we would note in our report. It's also a code situation where the National Fuel Gas Code says, it's got to be more than 18 inches. That's got to be raised 18 inches off the floor. That burner has to be. Okay, that's the code. That's the code. But I'm not there quoting that code. I'm there telling you, hey, this is a safety issue. So, again, keep in mind that it is not a code. The home inspection is not a code inspection. Has never been a code inspection and never will be a code inspection, at least not in Kentucky. We're there to give you the data on what's working and what's not. And after that, as far as codes, you'll have to get a building inspector to come in from a city building inspector, and most of the time they're going to tell you, hey, it's not a matter of code for that house. They go in and inspect new construction. Now, if you have a full update on the electrical system or the plumbing system or something like that, then those systems have to be installed according to the most recent code requirements and inspected by the appropriate inspector, the electrical inspector, the plumbing inspector, the HVAC inspector, and approved for that they've been installed correctly. That's a whole different world. So, one other area that's important that we get a lot of questions about is mold. Unfortunately, mold is not part of a home inspection per state law. Environmental issues are not included in a home inspection. Now, in most cases, most home inspectors, if they see black stuff going up the walls, they're going to recommend that you do a further evaluation, have a mold test done to determine if that's what kind of mold that is, and how big an issue is it. And we would do that as well. We're going to note that, but it is not something that is required by standard in a home inspection, and in many cases we wouldn't be able to see it. It could be that it's inside the walls. So the only way to really test for that is to do an air sampling. Now, we do make these services available as an additional add-on services. but you have to request and pay for those. It's not included as part of the basic home inspection. Well, I hope this video has helped in people to understand the basic premise of a home inspection. If you have any questions or if you need a home inspection, again, this is Michael Green with Inspector USA, your neighborhood home inspector. Our number is 859-420-4872. Give us a call. We'd be happy to help you. Have a great day.